Good morning! Welcome to this casual, realistic college morning routine. Now today is Sunday. I'm just going to be showing you guys what I typically do in the morning, which of course starts with some coffee. Y'all, I'm going to leave, a link down below to some of my favorite things, but I have this big tub of McDonald's coffee that I got off of Amazon that I love. It's great. I also have this Aldi coffee, which is phenomenal. Amazing. Love it. Can't recommend it enough. It's 10,000 times better than the McDonald's, but they're both great. You know what I'm saying? It's coffee. It does the trick. So I love to have coffee as a way to start my morning. It's kind of nice and warm in my hands. I just put it in my Amazon Basic coffee maker. So cheap, works so great. I have no complaints. It works amazing. I also like to put in some smells into my oil machine, and this is coconut lavender. It's from a local
So
place.
lately what I've been trying to do in my quiet time is kind of look inside of this book, because I've noticed that they have really great Bible studying techniques, and I want to learn from that, and I want to be able to enhance and enrich my quiet time by really studying the Bible in a way that honors God. And I think that part of how I can do that and honor God is by learning and learning from other theologians who have worked their whole life to help their craft in studying the Bible and doing it in a way where you are interpreting correctly and you're observing and you're looking for truths in the Bible that are not biased and that are less me-centered, which is not a bad thing to go to the Bible looking for things about yourself, but really all the books of the Bible were written for other people that were not us, and so we have to read it with cultural context. And I'm just learning so much about what that means and the steps that you take before you get to the interpreting part. But right now I'm reading about Nehemiah and the structure of prayer that he uses, and I'll just show you a little bit of what that looks like today. But first, coffee. I'm almost out. Sound the alarm. Oh. Don't hit the panic button. Have to ration this.
Alright everybody, so now I'm just going to show you guys what I did today in my quiet time, and I used this Living by the Book, and I opened up to the section that talks about turning to scripture in prayer. Specifically, this section of the book teaches me how to learn to pray by studying Nehemiah's prayer to God. And what I love about this book is that it really taught me that you don't start with application. You don't look at the Bible and say, how does this apply to me? The first thing that you do is you observe, and you observe so that you can then interpret. And then once you're done interpreting, then you move on to the application phase and what that means in your life. But these are some of my annotations of this Nehemiah passage. We just go through Nehemiah 1. And the author suggests, of course, that you read through Nehemiah 1 and you use these 5 different techniques, actually 6. Look for things that are emphasized, repeated, related, alike, unalike, and then true to life. So after I just read a little bit of this section in the book that talks about turning to scripture and prayer, I actually just dove right into the first chapter of Nehemiah and started to read and observe for those things that the author talks about. And what I do when I'm reading the Bible is I take a notebook and I set it out next to me, and I write annotations about what I'm writing. And today I specifically wrote out the things that I wanted to look for and the questions that I wanted to answer when I was reading Nehemiah. And y'all, let me tell you, I am not really like a super intellectual, crazy note taker. I am a very casual gal, and so learning to discipline myself into really reading the Bible with integrity, with passion, and with intellect, and not just going through the motion has been hard for me, because when I wake up in the morning, I'm like, I know I have a lot of schoolwork to do later, and I just want this to be floofy. I want to just pray about the needs that I have for the day or whatever. But this has been teaching me actually so much more than I ever thought, and it's allowed me to learn more about God. So yes, this is just what my notes look like today. Prayer model book is Nehemiah, specifically 1:4-11. So the first thing I had myself do was read through Nehemiah, and then I asked myself these questions. What problem were they facing? How did they feel? And what was their response? And I wrote down over here, obviously, the things that I wanted to look for and annotate in the passage. And then below that, I just put the sixth thing, which is what's true to life. And that's where I wrote down those questions that I answered on the page previously. You guys, I'm telling you, I loved doing this, and I want to do this more in my quiet time. So what I loved about Nehemiah and the way that the author helped guide me through this chapter was that he split up Nehemiah's prayer into 3 sections that we can model our prayers after when we're praying to God, and that is starting with adoration. So occupy yourself with who God is, and that in itself will lead you to the second part, which is confession, because you'll see yourself in a proper perspective, and then you're ready for petition with God and to share with him your needs. So I just thought that was beautiful. And now on to the rest of my day. We're headed to church. We're just gonna, right now we're outside, and typically on a Sunday morning for the past month, we've been going outside and sitting in the plaza and watching church online because it's not actually in person yet, and that's okay. But I have my sister. Sometimes my friends will join us too, but today we're gonna just listen to the sermon and do some art and just enjoy this weather, this warmish weather with a nice breeze while it lasts. And then after this, it'll be homework. But otherwise, so far, a very relaxing morning. Show them what you just did. Okay. Okay, Ash. Church is over. But it's so nice out here. It's not quite lunch yet. It's actually only like 11:30. So I'm going to do homework. Right now I'm doing a structural analysis for my studying and teaching the Bible class. I wish I knew how to explain what a structural analysis is.
Michaela.
How do you explain a structural analysis?
I don't know.
I'll show them what it looks like. This is what I have so far.
What is this eating? Hold on. What do you mean?
What project is this for, Ash?
Living in biblical Israel.
Oh.
The maps, yeah.
Doing maps. Are you plotting out their migration? Yeah. No?
I don't know what we're doing. I don't.
Oh.
I'm plotting out someone's migration.
Migration.
Edrei is up here.